Aries, welcome to your love reading today with Life in Symbolism. We'll begin by looking at your current present energies, your recent past and your near future, and then we'll do the same for your person or the person that you're connecting with. So bear in mind that the general reading is read for the collective energies. So it's not personal. Free will is always at play, so please bear that in mind when taking the messages on board. You'll know what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. Okay, let's see what's going on for you, Aries, in your love life. Aries, please. Right, so Ace of Pentacles, Aries, there's a brand new start, there's an opportunity in your love life that has the potential to be something that really stands the test of time. And that's what your focus is on at the moment, Aries. Something that will stand the test of time. You may be coming out of a place of feeling really stuck and down in terms of your romantic life, your love life. But I feel like that's coming to an end now. And I think that you're actually making the decision to move away from feeling really stuck and down when it comes to your love life and the experiences that you've had in the past. Perhaps realizing that they may have held you back at times, and maybe missed out on opportunities because of the way that you've been feeling. So it looks good, Aries. It looks like you're moving away from this energy and making the decision to move towards something, being prepared to build something anew. But like I said, this time something that's got huge, huge promise and potential. What else is happening, please, in the love lives for Aries watching, please? Aries, current energies, please, in love and romance. Okay, so for some of you, it could even be that your focus is on your work at the moment and less so with your love life, because as you can see, there's not an awful lot coming out at the moment. But what we'll do first is we'll look at your recent past. Recent past in love, please, for Aries. I feel that you're feeling a bit more optimistic though, Aries. Okay. Wow. Gosh, this is wow. Gosh. Wow. Okay, so for some of you, you're in a relationship, or for some of you, there was a relationship in the past whereby you were extremely, extremely committed, very, very in for the long haul, very comfortable, and in ways you were quite different to each other, but one of you was very practical, logical, very wise, business oriented. The other was much more sort of empathetic and compassionate and caring and nurturing, but you were both very, very strong in your own right, and therefore you worked together very, very well. And I think that you were both equally committed. Thank you. You were both committed, and it seemed to be a very, very nice, pleasant, free-flowing relationship whereby, yeah, like I said, there was a lot of stability and security and trust between you. So let's see, please clarify the Two of Cups. So with 3 queens on the table here, it could be that somebody interfered with the relationship. And there may have been a disagreement in the home or something regarding home, or this is in the recent past, something related to a home life, maybe where you should be living, whether or not you should be moving house, or returning back to something that you knew before. Maybe someone wanted to move in and somebody didn't. Who's the Queen of Wands, please? There's 3 very strong feminine energies on the table here, 3 queens. So there may have been a third party involved, or there may have been interference from female energies in the relationship. I think that someone was perhaps possessive, feeling quite possessive of letting somebody leave them. They perceived that this person was leaving them. They wanted to hold on to them, and I think therefore they may have been a bit sneaky in trying to orchestrate what they wanted there. Please clarify the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, someone felt I think there was competition, and somebody was competing for somebody, and it left someone with an awful lot of anxiety and feeling like they couldn't provide enough or offer enough to this person to be a suitable kind of match. I think maybe they thought that they weren't good enough. There was a lot of work that they'd need to do in order to make it work, a lot of things that they'd need to be prepared to do to make it work. And I think that they wanted to make it work, but they felt such competition from somebody else. Please clarify the Queen of Cups. So there was an ending in the relationship. Please clarify the King of Pentacles. Wow, heavy energies coming out here, Aries. Okay, so I can definitely see that in the past, you've been through a lot in your recent past when in terms of romance and romantic relationships and the person that you're connecting with, or were connected with, or are connecting with. So therefore, it seems in the present, the focus is far more on your finances and finding that sense of security and stability within yourself, getting on top of your emotions and just finding a bit of a better balance, because what it looks like to me is that there was an ending to the foundation of the relationship, and therefore the stability that was previously there. Let's see. Let's clarify the Ten of Pentacles. For some people, the Death card, it could actually signify somebody actually passing, a loved one, a feminine, female energies, perhaps even a family member. And I think that absolutely shook you to the core, and your foundation, in terms of who you are. If it wasn't a physical death, it was the ending of the relationship or the transformation in a relationship, which was... yeah, very difficult. Very difficult. This person, if they did pass away, I think they left you with a lot, or with all that they had. I think they wanted to offer it to you for you to be comfortable, somehow kind of still taking care of the family through you. Okay. We've got the Lovers with the Devil here, and a sense of detachment. And I feel that for those of you who resonate with the passing, I think that person passing has left you with a sense of detachment, which is making it very difficult for you to get close to people when it comes to romantic relationships. Because it seemed to be, at some stage in your life, extremely balanced and harmonious and comfortable and safe and secure, and there was an understanding, and there was love, and there was long-term commitment, and it was all there. And then something ended, possibly even quite suddenly. It was forced to come to an end. I think there may have been a third party for some of you. Someone found it very difficult to accept that there was an ending. And on the side, potentially a third party interference who was very possessive, didn't want someone to leave, something to do with the house, or maybe even we're talking about inheritance, difficulties with the inheritance regarding a house sale, that sort of thing. Otherwise, it's possessiveness over someone in this relationship, whether it was you or the person that you're connecting with. Someone else was feeling very possessive and holding on, and was a bit sneaky behind the scenes, making somebody feel like they couldn't compete, which drove them really anxious, and I think maybe in the end got the better of them. Someone felt like they had to leave the situation, even though that wasn't easy, and they didn't do that easily. But the sense of detachment that we're left with is impacting a sense of well-being. Let's please clarify the devil here. Queen of Wands again. So whoever it is that's been extremely possessive, that's a bit of a toxic cycle that's getting in the way of somebody's love life and romantic relationships. A sense of attachment. This is what I'm identifying. The toxic cycle is possessiveness and a sense of attachment. Not being able to let go of somebody, not being able to allow somebody the room to breathe. Perhaps even needing someone's help financially as well. Perhaps that was the attachment, the relationship. It's partly financial too. Please clarify the Lovers. Once we've clarified all of these, Aries, we will be looking at your near future as well. Please clarify the Lovers. There's almost a sense of, we've got the King of Pentacles in reverse over here, Aries, which I am reading as your energy. So it's almost like love and romantic relationships are subconsciously affected, and it subconsciously affects you, and it almost knocks you off your seat when it comes to romantic relationships without you even really realizing it, I think. And we've got the King of Swords in reverse here as well. So somebody that's not necessarily in control of the logical side of things, or might speak a bit abruptly, a bit harshly, and maybe has a feeling of lacking of being able to provide for somebody, not being good enough, not being able to give somebody what they deserve, perhaps because of what happened in the past, if you felt that you lost out to somebody. Now, the devil can also relate to intimate relationships, so that it could be a sense of attachment blocking the intimacy in relationships as well, being careful about letting anybody get too close, because there's a history of somebody being extremely possessive, potentially for some of you as well. Please do let me know, Aries, in the comments what your situation is, as much as you're happy to share if you want to do so. Let's have a look now at your near future. So that's okay. All right. So near future, please, for Aries in love. What's happening? What's their general energies? Thank you. Oh, Aries, this is great. This is really, really great. This is a harmonious time once again coming in the near future. We've got a wish coming true here, and we've got balancing, things flowing well, being in control emotionally, being in better control of your mind, being happier and more at ease and more comfortable in terms of who you are and how you feel. Anything further, please, for Aries in the near future in love and romance? Let's clarify. Far more to say about the recent past, Aries, but we'll clarify. Please clarify the Nine of Cups. That person who is being sneaky, they're having a bit of an epiphany in the near future. Sorry, this is rattling. It's my... I'm just going to move this out of the way because it keeps rattling on the table. I think they're going to have they're having a realization, this person that you're connecting with, will get to them in a moment, that they're not going to be able to impact what you need and what you want at the end of the day. And I think someone I saw earlier was being a bit sneaky in trying to get their way with something, and perhaps realizing that when it comes to what you want and taking care of things, they're not going to be able to impact that, and it's forced them to have some kind... I think they've been really struggling to have a realization. It's almost like they're repeating something and not seeing it, not learning the lesson time and time again. So it feels... We'll see more when we get to them, but I think that they might be having some kind of realization. Anything further to clarify the Nine of Cups, please, for Aries? I also think, Aries, that what you want is changing. I think you're realizing actually that you may have been going too long after something that wasn't working, and after trying everything and realizing it wasn't working, there's been a forced realization of your own that actually some things are not meant for us, and if they don't work out, that might be in a way a bit of a lesson for you as well, to look elsewhere. And I think, wow, it may have caused you to, there's the Nine of Cups again, may have caused you to think differently about what it is that you actually want in life. And I think you're coming to a bit of a better balance in terms of managing that and achieving that. Please clarify Temperance. Oh, these are the ones that came out earlier and then flipped around. Okay, Temperance again. So on the one hand, Aries, you feel that time's really speeding up, but you need to be patient. I think you're feeling like you want things, you want to be why free? I'm not sure. I'm feeling free. Nine of Wands here as well. you may be coming to a realization, like I said, regarding what makes you happy in relationships and your love life, but also that some of what's been happening may have been a little bit self-perpetuated. I'm sorry, please don't shoot the messenger, because of this lesson that you were asked to see. In terms of going after the wrong thing, not the wrong thing, but going after something you think was going to make you happy, being met with lots of restrictions, and then realizing, you know what, maybe if that's not working, it's because that's not actually what is going to make me happy. That's not what I think it is. And part of you is wondering if you've wasted time and want to speed things up, but at the same time you appreciate that it now is a time to go slow. It's funny, it's like on the one hand racing ahead, wanting to achieve something, on the other hand understanding that things are worth waiting for, and you need to put in for a solid foundation and wait and give it time to grow. But temperance is clarifying temperance. So definitely a very nice harmonious time. If you see the water being flown from one cup to one vase to the other in both of these cards, that's flowing from the unseen into the seen. And if you think about, things associated with going with the flow, and when things flow, this is harmonious, but it's also finding a balance, and it's also alchemy and creating the world around you, not necessarily manifestation, but managing the world around you and the fluctuations of your mind as well. So finding a balance, rethinking what makes you happy, rethinking what happiness is to you, and finding a balance not only within what you do, but also the time you take, in order to kind of free yourself from what I feel has been a bit of an entrapment within the cycles that you might have been following in terms of your relationships. So, which I think is linked to what I was mentioning earlier with some kind of possessiveness, maybe keeping people at arm's distance, maybe intimacy, questions regarding intimacy. A few different things there came up. It can be different for each of you, of course. With the devil there, it's, our toxic cycles are different. The lessons we need to learn are different for each of us. But let's move on and see what the person you're connecting with in this reading. Let's see their present energies, please. Very quiet, Aries. Maybe really is, there we go, thank you. I was thinking, for some of you are just focusing on work. Okay, so this is a nice omen with the Page of Wands here, bringing some kind of message. Now, with the card of generosity being here too, this may be financial. So it could be that someone's making an offer of generosity to you, or it could be that somebody is asking. And I did see earlier too, perhaps some kind of inheritance, or maybe disagreements regarding money from the sale of a house, and financial help being asked for, and taking care of people. So anything else in the current energies, please, of the person Aries is connecting with? Page of Wands, please. For some of you, there is a pregnancy. Because the Empress is the card of creativity and birth, and in traditional decks she is pregnant and holding onto a baby bump. This is the card of generosity, and it's often, I think of it in terms of like bread growing in the oven. So I just kind of heard bun in the oven. between these two cards. And so perhaps for some of you, you're writing to tell your significant other, or they're hearing from you, you're going to hear from someone. There may be a baby. There just may be a baby. Okay? That's obviously not for everybody, but for some of you, there could be a baby. Okay. Let's see for others. Is there anything else? Something to do with the timing of this correspondence. It may be strange timing. Page again. So I think the person you're connecting with is realizing that they weren't patient enough in order to see things grow, to see the potential. Then they felt maybe they weren't ready and they weren't able to offer enough. Maybe a little bit of lacking, a little bit of insecurity, but a great amount of impatience as well. Here we go. There's that tower moment. There's this epiphany that they're having. Yeah, so, and I think maybe they're writing, they want to communicate to you about how they're feeling. They're in the same, they're currently also trying to manage, sorry, there's a glare there, sorry, to manage their emotions and to find more of a balance. Because I think that this person may be really quick to kind of say, oh no, this isn't working, let's, it's, you know, what's the point? And almost pull the cord and let everything completely fall down around them in order to just, yeah, kind of escape. I think that might be the realization that they're having. And realizing actually that they didn't need to do that. And had they have been a bit more patient and communicated a bit more, maybe even asked for help, then, you know, maybe things could have been different. Let's check the recent past, please. The recent past for the person Aries is connecting with. There's a strange sense of irony with this, with what this person's realizing. It's like they forced the ending. It's almost like they didn't really want it to end, but it did. I don't really know what they were expecting, but they're having some kind of epiphany, learning some lessons regarding this. Yeah, and there we go, the patience card again, clarifying the same. So they're learning to be patient. They're learning that it was that they had no patience, and that's what they're learning now. Okay, sorry, that's going there, and we're taking these away. So in the recent past, the person you're connecting with has the Justice card. So very, very concerned with things being fair and right and equal. Wanting everything to kind of be out there in the open, wanting all cards down on the table. Because of the connection to legal matters, somebody may have, and the impatience I was seeing too, somebody may have possibly wanted a bigger commitment, talked about marriage or legal affairs. Thank you. Please clarify justice. Zero again. It's very strange. This person likes to go just start all over again. Maybe they just take risks. Maybe they're quite impulsive. I want to see a bit more about that though. I think maybe when they feel like they're in the right, they act very quickly and swiftly and take a bit of a risk and maybe don't necessarily think through the consequences, which is why they're realizing that they've been not patient enough in their connection with you, it feels. It really is very quiet, Aries. Let's move on. Near future, please, for the person that Aries is connecting with. Thank you. Wow. So they feel that there's... Wow. They feel that there is unrealized potential, and that the potential that you guys have or had is going or has gone to waste. That's the near future. But whether or not they're necessarily ready to commit would be something that you'd need to talk to them about, because maybe that's why they kind of pull the plug and call things off so quickly, rather than having the patience to kind of stick around and see how things go. It's causing them a lot of anxiety, because I think they feel like they're realizing that they weren't patient enough, and that, again, we've got the Hermit here shining the light on that situation. They're learning, and they're trying to learn from that and move forward knowing that. And maybe this is what they want to communicate to you about. They're depressed. They're really down. Wow. And okay, so I think that they also want to communicate that the sneakiness that I was feeling at the beginning, I think that they feel that had a direct impact on your relationship. Maybe even brought the relationship to its knees, maybe even ended the relationship. I think that they thought that person's influence was too much. And I think that may have been on their side, maybe influencing them. And I think they've been quite down about that, but they're trying to learn from that. It's interesting though, Aries, because you had this group clarifying your past, and now it's clarifying their future. And I think this is part of the epiphany moment that they're going to be having, is realizing something's going to be illuminated from the past. And they're going to realise how much of an impact this had on their relationship, something that they didn't see before. Maybe you tried to tell them, but they're seeing it now. And that's the epiphany that's going to be quite sudden and shocking for them. And it's going to be very difficult for them to face and to accept. And they will need to take some time away. Now, they feel that... There's that pregnancy card again with the World as well. So, like I said earlier, there may be a baby on the cards for some of you. But otherwise, I think that your person is going to be prepared to do what they need to do to keep you and to make you stay if they feel that you're unsure now. And if you're not ready to commit, or if they're not ready to commit, I think what all of this is telling me, we've got the World in reverse there, and now it's upright. They want to bring things to fruition with you, and that's that creation, birth. They want this to be successful. They want to have the full potential with you that was wasted. I had a similar, the background's totally different, but the person and the overlying message of the person that they're connecting with is very similar to Sagittarius's video. So you might want to have a look. There we go. There's the Queen of Wands there again. There's the person you're connecting with. They are learning, and they don't want to suffer the consequences of their actions. And perhaps not seeing things through with you will be what they have to face. And it will be it will be difficult for them. They'll have to be extremely patient with the entire situation. The Hierophant font is here as well. Sorry, the Hierophant's here as well. They're serious. They want to take this to the next level. But part of it is not wanting to deal with the consequences as well. Why is the Judgment card here, please? I think they just are realising in the near future the consequences of their actions, and maybe it's a bit too late. Knight of Cups in reverse. Suddenly feeling like, oh my goodness me, what on earth have I done? What's happened? How I didn't realise this had an influence. There we go again. So they do want to start over again, and they think that this time things will be different because the timing will be better, and they feel like they've learned the lessons that they need to learn in order for this to move forward. And I think that that's the communication that they're having with you. So, and like I said, for some of you, an actual talk about family. Okay, so what I'd like to see now is what's the potential. What is the potential between these two, please? In this connection, what's the potential in this connection? Someone needs to, I think, accept a responsibility. And again, it's coming back to consequences of the actions, things that were said and done, doors that were closed, now wanting them to open again. It's not that easy, and somebody does need to come to terms with that. This is facing it. Basically, someone doesn't want to face it, they're going to have to face it, and they may have to apologise in order for there to be a potential High Priestess. All cards have got to be on the table. No secrets, and total trust and total balance in order for there to be a potential truth. Yeah, total honesty. And no more kind of letting things get in the way. Because definitely someone who had like an epiphany regarding an influencer, I don't mean it in that way, someone who intervened, influenced the situation, the relationship, someone, they didn't know that at the time, they're coming to that realization now, and they would have to make sure they've learned that lesson enough so that things like that don't continue to happen, because that's almost like problems caused by other things, external things that didn't need to be there, however became a part of the problem itself, if you're following me. I hope that came back round. Again, they also need to learn to change their views and their beliefs when it comes to starting things all over again. They can't just keep starting things all over again and wiping the slate clean. But I do think that, let's clarify the Ace of Swords, please, with honesty and truth and clear communication, it's suggesting that perhaps you could build things up again, but that would be, of course, free will. That would be your choice, Aries. Because part of you, Aries, again, like I mentioned earlier, you don't want to waste any more time. I think you're concerned with wasting time. No more lies, no more letting anybody else interfere, no more listening to gossip, no more interference from anybody else. And the detachment, it's not going to work if somebody remains detached. For some of you might decide that you can face that. Some of you might decide actually that moving away is the right thing to do. Moving on. Some of you might find that moving on is the right thing to do. But some of you might want to work on this. And like I said, your call, Aries, your call. We're at 40 minutes. So what I wanted to do, that was what's the potential. Let's see what works. Sorry, thank you. What works well? What works well between them? What works well in this connection? What works well? Both of you are willing to give to the other person. Whereas before, I'm wondering if there was a bit of or maybe not, no, sorry. I think it's actually more that you've got better boundaries between the two of you, because I think you were very good at helping each other in other situations. And I think you're possibly at similar stages at your life as well. Yeah, you're very good together in terms of helping each other out, giving advice. Like I said at the beginning, very strong in your own right, but you have differences. Someone was more practical, logical, someone else was more empathetic, nurturing, that type of thing. So I think that's where you weigh each other out very well, and you have a nice balance. You work well together. I did see that there was harmony at the beginning. What are the areas of improvement, please? I know we've touched on this already because it came out strongly. You've both got your own lessons to learn, your own you both are growing in your awareness, in your understanding about yourself, your understanding about your karmic life cycles and lessons. And I actually think that you two were connected in some way to cause to be the catalyst. It's almost like you are the catalyst for each other to learn these lessons, and things will continue as they are until those lessons have been learnt. And perhaps it's difficult for both of you to build a foundation with somebody else. Again, I'm just seeing this is the bread bun in the oven card and the lady with her hand on her stomach. Sorry, the light's not in a great position. For some of you, this crazy, so the tower is something unexpected or something happening. So maybe you just continue to challenge each other to be more understanding, more compassionate, more giving. That's where you challenge each other. So I'm going to finish with a card of advice from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. Please do let me know, Aries, if and how this resonates with you in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. It's really helpful for me as well to connect more with your energies. And I'd really like to know, what you guys think, if you're happy to share. And also what you think of this spread, because I usually do a general reading. This is love. So let me know if you like this one or if you'd prefer to carry on with the general reads. And I'll bear that in mind with the next one. Okay, Chameleon Spirit, act as if. I'll read from the book and I'll show you the card in just a moment. Chameleon Spirit shares her gift with you today to prepare you for changes that will greatly benefit you. Outer conditions are changing and you're required to come into harmony with them so that you can co-create your greatest dream. Well, that's fine, Aries, because I saw that harmony, that time of harmonious with the flow of temperance coming in your near future. Feeling sensitive, good, because that will come in handy, enabling you to determine how best to adapt to your environment and the people in it, while at the same time maintaining your integrity and inner equilibrium. Good, that's your balance of emotions I was seeing. Even if you feel like you're in uncharted territory, Chameleon Spirit has complete faith in your ability to fit in and learn the lay of the land, adapting as necessary. This is a fortunate time to act as if and do as others do until the new ways feel familiar and completely natural. Life is offering you a great lesson now. Adapting isn't about losing yourself. It's about learning how to dance with others. Well, Aries, that choked me up a bit because that took me to the beginning of your reading where there was this separation, this boundary between your love life and something that had happened in your past. And there was possessiveness maybe at some stage as well, but a detachment from love. And the card of generosity and giving and people asking for things from you, that's come up a couple of times today. Adapting isn't about losing yourself in giving to others. I'm not sure if maybe you have the responsibility in this relationship or in family. Maybe you're the caregiver, you're the nurturer, you're the provider. And I wonder how much of yourself you may have lost or feel that you are losing yourself because you're having to be so many different things for so many different people. Perhaps that's how you feel, and perhaps that's how it has been influencing your relationships. Adapting isn't about losing yourself, it's about learning how to dance with others. So I'm going to leave that there, Aries. I really, really hope that has helped you. Please let me know. It'd be great to hear from you, or you can to let me know that this resonated with you. And otherwise, take care, Aries. I'll see you again soon.